Okay, it looks like we are streaming. Welcome everybody to the Node.js Foundation Technical Steering Committee meeting for March 27th, 2019. As we always do, we start with announcements. And there are a bunch queued up that I'm just going to read through, and then people can add anything that I missed. So first announcement is that Node.js 12 is coming, and if people have breaking changes they want to land, they should get those landed on master very soon. The release working group has determined that there will be a cutoff for breaking changes in Node.js 12 soon. I think it's at the beginning of April sometime. I can't find the date. Oh no, it's March 23rd. It already passed. Never mind. So any breaking changes that need to land in Node.js 12 will now require TSC approval. So there you go. Let's see what, Node.js 12 should be out at the end of April. Also, the Node.js collaborators, or actually, I guess it's the OpenJS now Collaborator Summit, I suppose. In any event, the Collaborator Summit is going to be at the end of May in Berlin, right before JSConf EU. There is a link, if you are a Node.js Foundation member, there is a link in the an issue in the Node.js/Summit repository, issue number 149. Check it out. Please come and hang with us. And OpenJS, so I guess that's the JS Foundation and the Node.js Foundation Collaborator Summit. Thank you, Matteo. Yes, if you're an OpenJS Foundation member too, although that gets a little weird because I don't know that all that's been completely determined yet, but it's in progress, and we're pretty cool about letting people attend. So come on down. Okay, let's see here.
Also believe that open sessions, Rich, open sessions.
Oh yes, call for sessions. Thank you. Yes, there is a for the summit. There is a call for sessions. So if there's something that you think is of interest to the community, that is that you would like to lead, facilitate conversation about, please submit. And that's what that issue number 149 actually is. That's not about the summit in general. It's about a call for sessions. Thank you, Matteo. Okay. Let's see here. We got another attendee I have to promote. Hang on a second. There we go. Done. Okay. Let's see what else is on my list. There were. I think that's it. Yes. Okay. So does anyone else have announcements that need to be made? Okay. So be that as it may, let's move on to the agenda. So let's see here. So somebody already added, and then this. So we already the first two issues on the agenda are actually those two issues that I put in the announcements. Thank you to whoever is doing the notes right now. I appreciate it. I have a really hard time talking and doing the notes, which is probably a sign that I should talk less. Let's see here. So there's the tracking issue for update on TSC on board meetings. Miles isn't here, so we'll skip that. There's strategic initiatives. I would like to come back to that at the end unless there are objections, and move on to the checklist to address changes to move to the OpenJS Foundation, which is admin repo issue number 311. Michael Dawson, who's not here, indicated that he at least wanted there to be discussion, TSC discussion and consensus around how we are, how the top level committees, the TSC and ComCom, should pick the two representatives, voting representatives, I guess, on the CPP. Is it CPC, whatever it is, the Cross Project Council? that seems to be going. That conversation is happening. There seems to be a lot of support for doing what we currently do for board directors, which is one election for each committee to pick one member. Girish had an alternative proposal, which I think is reasonable, that the committees vote, each vote on, vote as a collective body rather than as separate entities. I did leave a comment like in the last half hour that does introduce certain complexities and decisions that need to be made. And that's where the conversation is at this point. I kind of feel like if the conversation is happening in the issue tracker, we should keep it in the issue tracker, because if we have it here, then anybody who's not here misses out on context. But that said, since I've dominated this meeting for like 8 or 10 minutes straight now, does anybody have any thoughts on that specific topic or that issue in general? Michael's not here to frame it, but if there's anything about it, let's talk.
Yeah, I just want to add one point which I missed in the issue tracker. Basically, the Miles approach is pretty straightforward, simple, and easy to understand, easy to implement, etc. That's fine. Two main issues which I see is that approach makes two teams, that is TSC and the CONCOM, looks two completely isolated teams with probably disjoint priorities, number one. Number two, when that is implemented, I kind of get into an awkward situation where, I'm represented by somebody whose selection process I was not part of, or at least I didn't have a say on. These are the two issues which I can think about. Yeah.
Anybody else to either add to that or comment on it or another topic? I do think those are valid points. I think, but like I said, I do think we should keep this in the issue tracker if we don't have to, talk more about it here. Okay, so unless somebody has something to add, I think we're going to move on. Are there any objections to that? Okay. This is going to be a quick meeting. So before we go back to strategic initiatives, I do want to look quickly in the issue. I think some people added a couple things to the agenda in the comments, kind of last minute-y, which is fine. To hear, no, actually, they weren't last minute. They seem last minute to me because I didn't look until this morning. Okay, let's see here. All right, so Rod, who's not here, wanted us to just wanted there to be attention about to core repo issue 26714, which is updating the supported platforms for Node 12. Says it's not ready for merging, but it's nearing it, and he wants there to be awareness on the TSC about it. The bullet points he left in there were that they're settling on GCC 6. There's been almost no feedback on Mac OS defaults. There's a proposal to lift the minimum supported compile OS to 10.13 and Xcode 10 with minimum supported running on OS 10.11. I guess I can chime in and say that seems reasonable to me. And then the Python 2 and Python 3 thing, Rod feels like we're going to have to recommend having both, supporting both out of the gate, but with the Python 2 end of life coming this year, he doesn't want us to lock ourselves into supporting Python 2 for another, 18 months after that or whatever. So there you go. That's that for awareness, unless somebody has comments that they want to, or corrections or anything on that topic. Okay, if anybody was talking, they were on mute. So we're gonna move along here. Let's see here. And all right. So related to the December major cutoff for Node 12, we have, well, had, let me see if we still have, we had 32. Oh, we're down to 30. We have 30 open pull requests that are labeled Semver major. It would probably be a good idea for TSC folks to get into that list a little bit and try to close some of those out or land them. Close things that are never going to land and land things that are landable. That's an awfully large number of breaking changes is kind of looming out there. My personal opinion only. And let's see here. And last but not least, Miles wanted to add core issue pull request 26745, which is, it says just for a heads up, or a heads up at the very least, it's a new ES module implementation. So that's kind of a big deal. So go take a look at that. There's been a ton of comments on it, it looks like 179 comments and the list and 19 participants. So it's been very active. That's great. But if it's been off your radar and that's something you care about, now you know about it, please get in there. With that, unless anybody has something else they want to talk about or anything that I've babbled about that they want to comment on, I think it's time to get into the strategic initiatives. All right, then. Sounds like it's time to get into strategic initiatives. Modules, Miles is not here. NAPI, Michael Dawson's not here. OpenSSL, Rod's not here. Workers, Anna's not here. Errors, Joey is not here. Core Promise APIs, James is the champion of. He's not on TSC right now, so we might want to do something about that. Governance, Miles is not here. Oh, go ahead. Can't hear you, Matteo. Oh, okay. Matteo wants to take the Promises API. Cool. Is there anything to report today, Matteo? Yeah, Matteo's on a train, but he's typing in the chat. I will read anything he types. Okay, nothing to report, but we should probably update the strategic initiatives document. Jeremiah, anything to report on streams?
No, unfortunately, no update since last time, which is basically it being stalled, waiting for multiple people, including myself, to do more things.
I have a brief update on NAPI.
Great, take it away, Gabriel.
So basically, thread safe function has now landed in version 8 as well. So as soon as 6 drops off the radar, we can confidently say that NAPI version 4 is now in all supported LTS versions of Node. And it's not likely to make it back to 6. I mean, not only because it's Semver Minor, but also because it's lacking some major infrastructure for that. So it's going to be, like I said, as soon as 6 drops off the radar, it's going to be, NAPI 4 is going to be the standard, and that's now landed.
Awesome. If you wouldn't mind, if you could add that to the Google Doc, because I didn't. So,
no worries, can do.
That'll be awesome. Cool, great. Any questions for Gabriel on that? Anyone? All right, let's move to Michael for V8 currency.
Yeah, so we are almost ready to land V8 7.4 on master, which will be the version that we should have in Node 12. There are just a few polish to do on the commits. Nothing else to say.
Awesome. Okay, let's see what's next. Async hooks, Ali is not here. Open web standards, no. Python 3 and GYP, Sac the Prion.
Yeah, so a lot of work has been done in the Zip part, thanks to Rafael. So Zip is compatible with Python 3 now, and there is a PR. The PR had few issues, and there is another PR to fix the problems in the Zip upgrade PR. So we are working on it right now.
Okay, awesome. And that's it. That's it for strategic initiatives. So I guess now is the time where we traditionally take questions from people in the IRC channel for Node.dev on Freenode IRC, and on the YouTube channel, which I'm not looking at, but I hope someone is. Jeremiah, maybe. I mean, only because you've done it in the past, not because you're obligated to continue doing it. Yeah, I'm not seeing any questions. Looking in a few other places, maybe check Twitter and stuff. Wow, that's let's see here. 3 people watching our stream. Okay, that's exciting. And not seeing any comments. Wow, that's okay. Cool. All right. Great. So I guess with that, I think our work here is done. Does anybody have any last things to add, or anything to discuss before we sign off and move on to the private segment of the meeting? Going once, going twice. All right, thanks everybody. See you next time.